Hi, folks. We are live. And hopefully, I have better internet today than I had yesterday. All right. We are cooking for you today. So come join us. All right. So I have the beans in my crock pot. And I'm turning them on high just to get my temperature up a little bit. I had soaked these all night in baking soda. Well, all afternoon, all day afternoon yesterday, and then all night. And then I rinsed them out this morning and just added some water. So that's what's going on with the beans. I'm going to be making some Ricey eggs here in just a second. This is one of my favorite things, one of the kids' favorite things. And I do have some bacon that it's just bacon fat. And I'm just rendering the bacon grease out of it. And I will be adding that to the beans for a little bit of extra flavor. So, all right, let's get on to these Ricey eggs. I got my cast iron pan set to about 3. And I got some farm fresh eggs here. So we do it one at a time. Okay, are you guys going to go feed the animals?
Yep.
Hey, will you take this whey and pour it onto the trees?
Hello, my name's Ricey. This is cool.
Yeah. So pour some of this whey onto all my trees. Just
Hello, my name's Kitty.
pour it over all of them. Yep, it is the way. Okay, Molly, go feed the animals.
Okay, it's
Come on, we got stuff to do today. All right, so I don't have quite as much rice as I usually have left over. I did 2 cups yesterday, and I used about half of it for my meatloaf. And so I only have a little bit today. So yeah, I just do 1 egg at a time because we do have a rooster out there. And sometimes you get a bad egg. So this way, I do it 1 at a time. That way, I don't have any waste all the rest of the eggs if I have 1 bad egg.
What?
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do 1 more here. All right. Okay. A little bit of oil in my pan. I'm going to use a coconut butter flavored oil. I usually use either this or olive oil. Butter's also good. Add a little bit of oil to your pan. And then get your rice in. Rice is going everywhere. The habanero?
Yeah, I remember that when you were talking about the habanero.
Yeah.
I found only one of them.
Yeah.
And you ate them? I give 2 million. I got 2 bites of her apple.
Well, I probably should have used a little bit less
Ooh, Ricey eggs.
Ricey eggs.
My favorite.
Should I add a little bit of meatloaf in here?
Yeah.
Give it a little bit of
Hands of meat.
little protein.
Extra more protein. Yeah, so we're... Hello.
There's nobody on. Nobody's watching right now.
I can see that. Because there's no subscribe. No. Or people watching this, then there'll be a lot of people typing.
Okay, guys. Let's take care of the animals.
Well, we can't see anybody running. My eye looks way better.
Good.
That was my mustache. That's my mustache.
All right, by the time you guys get done, the Ricey eggs should be done.
Oh, we better hurry up. Yeah. When I go out there, I'm pretty fast.
You're pretty fast. All right, make sure everybody has hay since it's so windy and cold.
Okay.
And then actually, it's a clean out day to clean out any cages that are yucky. Okay?
Okay.
And whoever does the best job is going to get paid extra. Okay? Because I know this is the worst job. So whoever does the most, I'm kind of cooking. And maybe Amelia can untie it. She's really good at untying.
Oh, yeah, I didn't get allowance.
You guys are getting allowance tomorrow.
I know I did. I did get allowance.
Yeah.
It's allowance from, when I wanted to a week that I paid.
Okay. And I haven't done salt and pepper yet. So we'll do some salt.
I can't buy something.
Salt and pepper. Okay. Looking good. You just want to do the Ricey eggs on a low heat because you don't want it sticking to the pan, and you want to just kind of evenly coat all the eggs. Usually it's a little more rice. I should have cut the egg down a little bit, but I didn't. Oh, you know what? You guys probably can't even hear me. I haven't had my microphones in. All right. Let's fix this. Okay, guys. I apologize. Okay, so I guess I will retell in case you didn't hear me very well. So these are the Ricey eggs. I literally just used cold rice and about 5 or 6 eggs and scrambled the eggs. And I'm cooking on low because I don't really want the eggs sticking to my cast iron here. Okay, next I got my beans going. And I start them usually on high just to kind of get the temperature up. And now I'm going to be adding my seasonings. I always add a decent amount of salt. This is running out of salt, so it's not coming out as much as it usually does. Then we got pepper. And the key secret ingredient to beans is cumin. Cumin is such a great spice. It gives it just this rich, delicious flavor. So I add a few sprinkles. I mean, I never measure anything out. You just kind of just go with it. And I add cumin it's great in chili seasoning too. So if you're making like a little chili, you need to go help with the animals, Gideon. Okay, we'll go to your room then, since you don't want to be helpful with the chores today. Okay. So we got the beans going. And then next, I'm going to start a little more cheese here. Get your bedmaiden room cleaned, Gideon. It's almost like a breakfast stir fry. But definitely more eggs than a regular stir fry. Okay, so next we're going to be adding a little bit of rennet to this half gallon of milk I got here. Now this is expired milk. It isn't good to drink. It's definitely sour. And this is a Canadian milk coagulant. And that is what I'm using. It's an organic one. Yeah. And I think this stuff comes out of like the stomach of. I just add a little tiny dribble. Give that a little shake. And then I'm going to turn my fireplace on here in just a few and set it over there by the fireplace to get warm, and that'll help draw the whey separate from the curd. I dried the one I was doing yesterday. I have hanging over the sink in a cheesecloth. So, and then after it dries out for a few hours, I'm going to do like a salt wash on it, and then I will let it cure. And I'm not sure how I'm going to do that because I have not really made cheese like this before. And I was going to show you another thing. Now, this is all from free food. So I got a thing of cream from the food giveaway and I whipped it in my mixer until it became butter. And so, yeah, this is homemade butter for free. Free 99. And then hopefully we'll have some free cheese here. All right. So I was going to talk a little bit more about my meatloaf last night. My Tony was asking, do you put ketchup on it? Now, I do not do any ketchup or any kind of tomato sauce. I do add usually some either fresh tomatoes or canned tomatoes, whatever I've got, to the mixture. And the key thing about getting the meat to stick together is having the binder. So that's rice is a very important ingredient. And then the 2 eggs. So the rice and the eggs together with the meat create a binder to bind it all together. And if you don't have an oven, then you can always roll that meat into meatballs and fry them up on your stovetop in a frying pan. And then throw that into some marinara sauce. Throw those meatballs into marinara sauce, and you got spaghetti and meatballs. So, all right, these eggs are looking pretty good. You're just kind of waiting for them to get dry. And they are almost there. They are almost there. Well, I don't have anybody live right now, so I am just going to share our business cards. We launched our business and yeah, we are live. I started a Yelp page, a Yellow Pages page, and yeah, I'm taking calls, answering the phone. Haven't had any calls yet, but we're hopeful. All right. Well, I think that's good. I'll probably turn these down to low sometime this afternoon. I'm actually not even having refried beans. Oh, maybe we are. Maybe I am going to do refried beans tonight. But yeah, I'm just getting it up to temperature and then I'll turn it down to low because we have all day long for them to sit and simmer. And they come out so soft, so flavorful, so delicious. Um, and there's so many things you can do with beans. So here, let me 1 second. Let me sit and chat with you about what you can all the things you can do with it. There we go. Okay, so when I was in Mexico, at both of the orphanages that I worked at, they had rice and beans for twice a day. So the American ran orphanage that I was at had rice and beans like every day for lunch. And then they would have different things for breakfast and dinner. The Mexican orphanage that I stayed at, they would actually have their largest meal for breakfast. So they would every morning do rice and beans, and they would a lot of times have like a protein with that breakfast meal. So they might have um, really whatever protein that they could get. They had a lot of donated foods and stuff. So then lunchtime was also a decent sized meal and they would do different stuff, whether it was just burritos, nachos, chicharrones, or wait, chilaquiles. That was one of my favorite things down there, or the Mexican sandwiches, just whatever. But the beans and rice were with both of their breakfast and their lunch. And then for dinner, they literally had like a tiny little snack. So for dinner, they would maybe have like a piece of bread or something. So they did not eat a large meal at the end of the day. Um, and yeah, I mean, these people were basically living off of rice and beans, the whole orphanage, all these little kids. So when you make rice and beans, you have so many options. So it's like these two staple products, and I couldn't do rice. I could never cook rice until I got a rice cooker. And so I swear by my rice cooker. Both of those appliances I got used from a thrift store. So I only paid, maybe $5 to $10. Hi, Tony. um, I only paid maybe $5 to $10 for my rice cooker and crock pot. But I never could cook rice until I got a rice cooker. So I swear by the rice cooker. It makes it so easy, 20 minutes and your rice is perfect. Um, and so once you master the rice and beans, you can make nachos, you can make burritos, you can make tostadas, you can make Mexican pizza. I mean, it's you can do pork and beans. You can add a pork to your beans and have that be a filling meal just in itself. You can do a taco salad. So from living down in Mexico where everybody was really, really poor and literally if it wasn't for the free rice and beans that the government would just bring 100-pound bags of rice and beans. The rice cooker. No, I got that from the Asian countries. But it is a lifesaver. And sometimes I will add to my rice, I used to add like chicken broth, and that makes it pretty good, gives you a little bit of flavor to your rice. I also have like a yellow curry paste that I bought it's actually like the restaurant supply store, but it's this yellow curry paste. And sometimes I'll add a spoonful of that in my rice and give that rice a little bit of flavor. So I do rice a lot just because of my allergies. It's one of the things that I can eat. So, yeah, so you missed my ricey eggs and stuff, but I think they're almost done. Let me try to bring you over. Ah. Oop, I unplugged the computer. Oh yeah, these are done. Okay, I'm going to turn the heat off. And I just added a tiny bit of the leftover meatloaf to give it a little bit of extra protein. And I cook it on low. I had it on 3 to start, and then I turned it down to low. And now I'm going to take it off the heat. And maybe I'll put my bacon. I'm trying to render some bacon fat to put into my the beans. I will sometimes put lard in my beans, and that gives it a pretty good flavor. But you don't have to. You don't have to put any extra fat in it. I've made them with just water and cumin, a little bit of cumin, salt, and pepper. That's literally all I use. And they come out amazing. Oh, and I'll say it again so you don't have to go back and watch, Tony. So that meatloaf, I don't put any kind of tomato sauce or anything on it. I do really simple, and I just literally put it in the oven at 350 for about an hour and let it cook. The one I made last night, I put that pan, I maxed it out, and it took over an hour to cook because it was so thick. But for a bread pan, so that's just a regular bread pan. Again, find your local thrift shops because everything is so much cheaper at the thrift stores. And usually better quality. I love it when I find old antique stuff or vintage things that are made better than they make them now. So, yep, and then I am making more cheese from the leftover um milk that has gone bad, but it'll turn into cheese and be pretty good. All right. Well, I think that was about all that I had for you today. Um yeah, I mean, I'm glad your daughter's coming over and cooking with you. It is hard to cook alone, and it's so nice to share a meal, and a lot of times that rice or the crock pot is a lifesaver. If I just have there's a few different pantries, and that's why I was mentioning to you, Tony, about the food pantries. There's food pantries in town that have as much fruit and vegetables as you could but the veggies, and you can make a really yummy veggie stew by just throwing everything in a crock pot. And um, yeah, I liked your idea of the meat too. I'd like to do that eventually, but right now we are trying to use as much budget getting the business started and everything. So, I was going to share some scripture. There are food banks here, but it doesn't ever get cooked. Yeah. Well, that's okay. You don't have to feel bad about that. I mean, take what you know what I mean? I'm having internet connectivity issues. I shouldn't be having any internet problems. Can you hear me now? Okay, looks like my internet's back. It's been crazy rain, like just dumping rain and crazy wind. So, of course, we have bad radio signal and internet too, but my internet. Come on, internet. I'm going to wait till it has better signal. Cutting out on me. Okay, looks better now. So, anyways, there's three different food programs. One is ran by like the main food pantry that is in town. There's another one that is ran by just another nonprofit, and they have fridges in the libraries. And again, it's all take as much as you want. And then there's another way that gets a bunch of food donations and oh my gosh, my internet. Internet. Do I have internet? Okay. So, anyways, don't feel bad about throwing food away because it would get thrown away. Okay. I understand those problems. Um, but the Lord can meet your needs. And yeah, He can meet your needs. I hate to see you go. How do I share screen? New layout. My screen. Oh, here we go. Cancel this. Present. Share screen. This guy. Share. Okay. So, Luke 6. Littles were blown away at these beatitudes. And so I just wanted to read them. Oh my gosh, you guys. Here, do we want to show Tony? All right, Tony.
Wait, Tony's on there?
Tony's on. This is Blizzard. Oh, oh, you are so big. Look at this beautiful bunny.
If we had another mama, we could totally breed him with that one because he's
Right?
huge.
He is huge. He's very pretty. Isn't he cute?
Oh,
Thanks for showing him.
he probably doesn't even fit a diaper anymore.
Probably not. Okay. Yeah, he's a big old bunny. He's so cute. Okay, let's go back to. Oh, how do I do this?
And he does not like.
There we go. Okay. So the beatitudes, I was blown away. It's so crazy when you read to little children the way that they hear things. So I was like, listen to this. Blessed are you that hunger, for ye shall be filled. Okay, we'll start from Luke 6:20. And he lifted up his eyes on his disciples and said, Blessed be ye poor, for yours is the kingdom of God. Blessed are ye that blessed are ye that weep now, for ye shall laugh. Blessed are ye when men shall hate you, and when they shall separate you from their company, and shall reproach you, and cast out your name as evil for the Son of Man's sake. Rejoice ye in that day, and leap for joy. Behold, your reward is great in heaven. For I just love this. Okay, so this is the thing. Like, we live in backwards world, right? Where they call evil things good and they call good things evil in the world that we live in today. But everything is hijacked from scripture. And this is why it is all backwards. We will, inherit the kingdom. If we are starving here, we're going to be filled. If we're crying here, we will laugh and have joy. And if we are last, we will be first. And so I just think that the idea of they're both garbanzo beans. Okay, and it's just so funny because it's not just like, oh, just be happy and rejoice, be blessed when you cry. Because I was like, blessed ye that weep, and the kids were like, what? How could you in that day and jump for joy? Behold, your reward is great in heaven. And so I just love that we can literally know that of our darkest, most painful hurts and our biggest lacks, that God has a reward for us in heaven. And that is just incredible and beautiful to me.
Woe unto you that are rich, for you have received your consolation. Woe unto you that are full, for ye shall hunger. Woe unto you that laugh now, for you shall mourn and weep. To the false prophets. And this made me a little nervous, I will admit, because you've seen I got a pantry full of food. In fact, when 2020 happened, I thought the whole world was going to like be, we were just going to like immediately go into the Civil War. Ordered food. Well, I mean, part of it was like we were given a bunch of food from the schools. And so I had all this food, but the Lord has really worked on that, showing me that He's going to take care of our family. I don't need to have pantries stocked full um, because He will take care of us. And yeah, He added storage. So yeah, that was a big, huge mess. But it's like I was definitely afraid and had a lot of fear that year. And the Lord is helping me to trust in Him through it all. But all right, Luke 6:27. Hate you. Bless them that curse you and pray for them which despitefully use you. Unto him that smiteth thee on one cheek, offer also the other, and him that take away thy cloak, forbid not to take thy coat also. Give to every man that asketh of thee, and to him that taketh away thy goods, ask them not again. Has always been in the back of my mind. Give to every man that asks of you. And there has been times where I felt like if anybody asked something of me, that by this verse I was supposed to give that to him. Um, Now I've had the Lord also protect me, and I've had friends who I gave a lot to, and I would have given even more, but the Lord removed them uh, based on lack of keeping boundaries and respect. So, keeping God's will and what He's put in your heart and keeping those boundaries really strong, like in these areas. And so, by keeping God's law, by keeping what He has put in my heart as far as boundaries go, what's right for me, the Lord has kept people that aren't willing to respect those boundaries, has kept them out of my life. And so, yeah, we have safety with Him, even though He says, provides us safety. Um, and then that him that taketh away thy goods, ask them not again. So, after all of my late husband's tools got stolen, really, I shouldn't have even tried to get them back. And here, look, the Lord provided me a husband with his own tools. So I do not lack. God said, I will take care of the widow. Evil men took things. I am not lacking because my God is my defender. No. Hey, we're going to eat some ricey eggs. Why don't you guys get some bowls and spoons out and wash up your hands?
My sleeves are soaking wet.
Yeah, it's wet out there. As ye would that men should do to you, do thank ye, have ye. For sinners also love those that love them. And if you do good to those which do good to you, what thank have ye? For sinners also do even the same. And if ye lend to them whom you hope to receive, what thank ye? For sinners also lend to sinners to receive as much gain. But love your enemies and do good and lend, hoping for nothing again, and your reward shall be great, and ye shall be unthankful and to the evil. He's kind to even the unthankful and evil. Be ye therefore merciful, as your Father is also merciful. Judge not, and ye shall not be judged. Condemn not, and ye shall. Give, and it shall be given unto you. Good measure, pressed down and shaken together, running over, shall men give unto your bosom. For the same measure that ye give withal, it shall be measured to you again. So the more you give, the more is given back to you. And that is the whole point of all this. Shall they not both fall into a ditch? The disciple was not above his master, but everyone that is perfect shall be as his master. Yeah. Why don't you get a bowl? Bowl's a lot easier to eat. Okay, well. Oh, hey, Jess, how's it going? Yep. No, you don't need to type. You can say hi. You're right there. So, anyways, I'm going to feed the kids some food and we're going to get on with our day. So, thanks. All four wheels on the road there. Don't drive too much in that snow. Don't drive too crazy.
Wait, it's snowing at her place?
Where Jess is, yeah. I think he lives in, I can't remember what state he lives in. Jess, yep. So, yes, you stay warm too. Thanks for tuning in. Much love. Careful, Gideon. Bye.